The way that I work in glass, the process itself is capturing a moment in time. For me, it's absolutely about mortality. I mean, that's what makes me make art, is that, you know, death, essentially, in a nutshell. That's why I'm non-judgmental with the objects, is because who am I to judge whether they're good or not? They're here, they're existing, they've been made by someone, they have that person's mark, that hand. Well, for the past 10 years, I've been focused on working in the still life tradition. I was trying to find that place of almost disgust, that role reversal where it goes from desire to repulsion or, desire to consequence, that kind of thing. One way that I approach the work that gives me a beginning. I usually end up doing something that is very repetitious, like glass cutting, or I'll go blow glass for the day and I'll just make objects that I know that I'll need, that I can use. I call that a vocabulary of objects. And then when I feel confident in the things that I have, I'll start to really quickly add things to a table. That's kind of nice. My compositions are three-dimensional drawings. That's how I work. As I'm composing, I'm looking for form, line, texture. I'm also looking for reflection or density of materials. I don't even know what I would draw on a piece of paper before making a glass still life, because it would completely negate the process of drawing in the material for me. So the vines on this particular piece are actually going to start on the ground. They're going to be trailing in from here, wrap around this particular leg, come up and kind of crawl over here. Really massive bundle of vines at this point, and then shed almost over and come down off the tablecloth on this side. The larger works in this particular table were made by a scientific glassblowing company in South Jersey. They are my design, but they were made with borosilicate glass. I came to still life probably because of my fixation on food initially, and I was actually working with food conceptually prior to working with the still life tradition, so it was a kind of a natural evolution. I grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. My mother pursued craft from when I was about age 9, so I was exposed at a pretty early age to painting and folk art. We'd travel around a lot. She would do craft shows, and we would definitely find the best spot for food wherever we were. We absolutely planned our days around food. Essentially, we're going to try to make 2 topiaries today. The topiaries are basically fused together. I'm thinking like grapes, bananas, pears, peaches, and maybe we'll make like a melon for the bottom. Or I was also thinking maybe I'll make a quick dead bird or something that goes kind of on the bottom of the piece. So we'll build this piece. Just for your information, we're going to be using an oxyacetylene that may, in fact, like scorch the glass in places, and I'm totally okay with that. I think that's awesome. All right, let's try this. Head towards the, yes, thank you.
UrbanGlass was founded in 1977. We serve all of the creative community, artists who work primarily in glass and also artists who have never worked in glass before. Beth Lipman came to UrbanGlass in the late 1990s. I think she was here for about 4 years. She started out as a teaching assistant, eventually became a teacher herself, and then went on to become the director of education.
Because Jeremy had to get reminded. I always, until very recently, had a job as an arts administrator. That really fulfilled this need of being involved in community and coming together with the community to get something done. And that's very similar to working in glass, working in hot glass. You need a lot of people sometimes to make things that you can't make on your own. And that's really a humbling experience, really wonderful. Oh, that's nice. So Leo, I'm gonna shape after this.
Okay.
One of the projects that gave me the clue that Beth was somebody really special.
I mean, we're very close.
I invited 15 artists that I knew who were connected in some way or another with UrbanGlass to choose an artwork on public view in the Brooklyn Museum and make a work in glass that commented on that artwork. And Beth was one of the artists I chose to be in that exhibition.
I was just naturally drawn to the Severin Roesen still life with fruit painting that they had in their collection. So I just really intuitively just started responding to the objects within his painting. That was the beginning of the series that I've been working on now for the past 11 years. My primary gallery is Heller Gallery in New York City, and I've been exhibiting with them since 2000. After this, you should be able to just let it disappear. Oh, great. Yeah, this, yes. Good.
Little surgery at the moment.
Beth has a command of her medium. For me, it touches on issues that, are very close to my heart. Things that have to do with material culture, things that have to do with history, questions of feminism and other issues, commenting on the history of art itself.
One of the most seductive qualities of glassmaking, utilizing hot glass, is this great visual performance. There's the choreography involved, there's the danger, the molten glass, this creation from a primordial soup. But too often, people who gain command of that process get caught up in the sound and fury without knowing why or what else it could lead to. I think Beth epitomizes the artist who knows how to make all of that signify something.
It's a nice pair.
The Arts Industry Coordinator position opened for the John Michael Kohler Arts Center in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I had done a residency in 2003, so when the position became available, I pretty much jumped at the chance to come here.
Kohler Company, where the Arts Industry Program is located, is world famous for its beautifully designed plumbing ware. And we have been thrilled to have a partner that recognized the importance of artists to this world. Beth Lipman brought a kind of legitimacy to the program. We had not had that kind of well-known artist. Also because she was a glass artist and was working in clay in the pottery, it gave other artists the sense that they could be a part of this.
I did have some mold making experience working in glass, but I had never worked in clay. I made several swags out of shells, and the shells are shells that I hand carved and then took molds of, and there were like 300 or 400 shells that would make up each swag. The residency definitely changed my life. I'd never been in an industrial environment that was remotely anything like Kohler. So my whole perception of my identity, what I was doing, changed. So yeah, it was a really incredible experience. And the bowl of fruit. For the past year, my husband, Ken Sager, and I have been working full-time in the studio. So Ken is the studio and business manager. Thinking about a vertical photograph. He's an incredible maker himself, but has really no interest in pursuing art in the public realm.
I make strawberries, raspberries, everything, chain, leaves, flowers. I did a whole trillium thing. Dead birds. Beth does a lot of still lifes with dead birds. Beth will actually start to design the still life and put it together, and then she'll come to me and she'll say, what do you think? How does this read? Walk around it, and she'll tell me what she's looking for.
Working in this tradition, I have chosen to work in an already established vocabulary of meaning. The objects historically were very kind of supporting roles in the painting for primarily religious iconography. During the Dutch Golden Era, when the still life really took off, those figures and those religious narratives, were completely eliminated from the paintings, and all that remained were the objects. The transience of life is really it's hugely important to me. I think that's what keeps driving me to use the objects, because they will exist when we do not. Ham. You want blueberry?
Hey, should we get that from in front of you here before you get it all over?
Having my girls forced me to choose. Actually, it's bizarre to say, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna stop working in a day job and just make my work and see what happens. It really was the absolute opposite decision of what I thought I would possibly have to make. The thing that I think about a lot is I never want to be too comfortable in what I'm doing. I always want the work to be moving forward. So I guess for me, it's like that, it's a fundamental belief. If I'm just true to the work, and as long as I keep being given opportunities to make the next thing, which is not exactly like the last thing I've made, it's really it's unbelievable to me. So I don't trust it in some ways. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. It's the Bermuda Triangle effect of Wisconsin. Like I'm in that spot. I don't know how I got there. So I can't move. I have to stay right here.